Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Explore Django, in which we will be talking about linking to model objects. In our case, we have posts, and we are going to be linking to individual post objects. Now, there are three ways to do this. The first way is hard coding the URL, such as like post/id, which you should never do, by the way. The second way is setting up a route URL name, right? Which we can use the Django's reverse function to link to. This way is acceptable. However, the best way is using the model function getAbsoluteURL, which is used by Django as well as various third-party packages to help give the URL a set name to help speed up your development. So let's go ahead and take a look at our code and see what we need to do for each of these different methods to link to model objects. Alright, so we're going to be taking a look, and we're going to turn this title column into a link to the article, right? So if we take a look at what we have right now, we take a look at this post, right? Right now we're just displaying the title, right? So there are a few different ways of making a link to this post object, right? We're going to take a look at all of them that I have come across myself. So if we can go ahead and do this and just make a link, right? And if we go to post.id, right? This will work. So we can see here, we can see in the bottom left corner over here that it's going to go to post 1, right? So if we look at here, then we can see this post, right? Now this is the worst way to link to an object because it's hard-coded. If we change the URL, if we look in our URLs, and if we change post.urls, if we change if we change this post right here, then our URLs are going to break, and we have to change this everywhere in our code. So if we go ahead and go back to here, let's go look at different ways to use it. The other way is that we can do URL, and we can use the reverse name, right? Reverse is what we set a link to. So if we look here, and then if we look in our post.urls again, if we look at this, we can set it to have a name of post detail, right? And here we can do name is equal to post list, okay? So this is a little bit better, and this way is acceptable. If you see this code, it's not terrible. So if we do post detail, and we also need to pass in the post ID as an argument, right? So this is going to look at our post detail, and it's going to pass in a post ID as an argument. I might need to do something else here, but let's see if this works. Okay, so this works too. And as you can see in the bottom left corner again, it does have the same URL, right? This way is a little bit better because now if we change our posts here to anything, we don't break anything. It's still, well, now this URL doesn't work, but if we're here, then we can see here that the link is going to take us to the right place, right? So let's go ahead and change that back. So that's how you use the URL template tag to link to it, which is okay. But as you see, we're still using post ID and post detail. We still have some kind of boilerplate code here. Now, the best way that I know of is to use what's called getAbsoluteURL, right? This is a kind of built-in Django function. We have to do a little bit of setup still. And we have to define this method, but Django knows about this method. So there's a lot of places that Django uses internally that will know about this code. And we'll go ahead and show you one of those when we're done setting this. So right now, this will give us an error um, post, right? Oh, do we already have this set up? No. Okay, so this just doesn't return anything, right? Because we don't have this set up. Um, so to set up this get absolute URL on our models, we have to set this as a function. And here we can go ahead and return, and here we're also going to use the reverse function, and we're going to do post detail, and with quarks of the pk is equal to self.id, right? So now we just set this once in our whole project, right? And then it will be available by using this. So if we need to change the URL of the post model, then we can just do that in one place right here, and that will propagate to our whole system. So let's see. I think this is set up correctly now. I need to import reverse URL resolvers, import reverse. Okay, and let's go ahead and see if this works. Okay, so this is not working yet, which kind of surprises me. I thought this would work. Let's see what we did wrong. This is on the post model, get absolute, right? And we're returning reverse. Have we? This should be working. Let's could just keep refreshing, but I don't think that's gonna help. Oh, okay, we need to, okay, so this is post, right? And this needs to be post. I don't know when I changed that, but that was a mistake. Okay, so now we see that these URLs are correct. Post 1, post 2, right? Now, this is the best setup you can have that I know of for linking to an object. Because it's only in one place, it's only in your models, as well as if we go to, it's in Django in various places, such as the admin. Like if we go to here, we now can see this button here, view on site, which will take us to that link, right? Because this is a built-in Django function that it knows about, right? So that's another added benefit. And also in many third-party packages, they use this get absolute URL as well to help speed up the development process. And yeah, so that's a good look at how to link to objects with Django. Hopefully this was informative. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments as always, and I will do my best to answer them for you.